was working my way up in the organization, I noticed that people perceived me in a way that did not benefit my transition from middle management to senior leadership positions. For example, some of you know that I began my career in China and later I moved to Europe. I became the global director for internal communication at Volvo when I was 28 in the company's global headquarters. This job also came with high exposure, obviously, because being the owner of all the global communication platforms, my name and profile pictures were on every internet page, all the town hall meetings invitations. Coming from a Chinese cultural background to Europe, many colleagues see me as hardworking and a doer. I got things done on budget and on time, but I was very quiet. I was quiet on meetings. So when decisions were made, I just implemented and I always delivered. This perception worked very well for me going from junior to middle management. As said, when I turned 28, I was appointed as the global director. But it did not serve me well at all to go from middle to the next level. With this reputation, I was not seen as an inspiring leader that others want to work for. So I was not considered as an executive material. Others will treat us and respond to us in a manner consistent with their perception of us. In other words, people's perception of you will have real consequences. So for several years, my career really suffered because of this perception. Not only I was giving more and more projects, but on these cross-functional meetings, my topic and my work were either at the bottom of the agenda or sometimes even not on the agenda at all. This situation continued until I discovered the importance of managing the way people perceive me. Regardless of who you know you are, who others think you are matters. In a large organization like the Volvo Group, other people's perception have a whole lot of weight on your growth opportunity, promotion possibilities, your income, even your team's expansion and their own development. So in this video, I want to share with you one thing I did to change that perception to my favor. And thereafter, I got 2 vice president positions when I turned 36. One in Asia as VP of Asia at Volvo, and as well another one as the global vice president for Atlas Copco back to Europe. Let me first say a few words about this concept. At a fundamental energy level, we are projecting our self-image out to other people. Maybe we're not trying to project. Maybe we're just authentically being ourselves. But the idea behind this is whoever we are being in the moment, the emotion we are embodying, the belief about who we are being projected out to other people. People are picking up on that and then responding to us based upon that energy state. So the power in this is really understanding how to become completely accepting who we are, then getting ourselves to a place of shaping the way we view ourselves and really acting from a place of confidence and authenticity, expressing who we are, and then other people will start to perceive us in a new light. Very actionable, I know. Now let me explain that before you decide to leave this video. A wonderful day at work for me does not have so much to do if I was outspoken today or I talked for 10 minutes straight in a meeting. It is not something that I evaluate my contribution at work. So while I might try really hard to take the microphone and present my work during the meetings, it may not happen because it may not be relevant. Instead, you accept yourself 100%. And the idea is that you project your self-image out to other people based upon who you are being. Now, this is where the power of this video is. So if we have a charge of who we are, we could feel a positive way about ourselves, be very happy with certain characteristics we have. I'll be very honest with you, in the culture where I come from, we value people who keeps their head down and just do things. They talk less, they don't take credit, and they are humble. To behave that way is something we are proud of and we are taught to do so. And that's a charge, that proudness, whatever that emotion is. On the other side of that, we could also have a negative charge, something we say to ourselves, I wish I'm well spoken as my American colleagues. I wish I was more communicative, or I wish I had her charismatic personality. We normally have some perspective about ourselves, either on the positive or the negative side. So when we go out and we meet other people, we are projecting these charges to other people, be it negative, positive, or neutral. So if we have a charge that says I'm not communicative, we are projecting that out, and that person will start to feel it, maybe even at subconscious level. That thought, that feeling that I am not where I want to be in terms of my communication, my English level, my character, or whatever that is. But if we simply start to accept ourselves 100%, we start to move the needle from that charge to feeling acceptance. which is where we are more neutral, or even we are more grateful for who we are. Now you might be sitting there and thinking, should I just be who I am and do nothing? No, that's not what I meant. Let me share my example with you and how I did it. So to start with, I have a full acceptance to who I am. I am not my colleagues in North America. They are brilliant with their words and they are very confident in talking 10 minutes straight with lots of storytellings. 100% I accept that I'm a quiet person. I am grateful that I'm an introvert. It is an advantage that I do not speak native English. So how can I use this as my advantage? I began to connect this identity to the perception that I want my colleagues to have about me. Speaking is just one part of the communication. Asking and listening are bigger parts. Given the fact that I am not talkative and I don't like to get attention to myself, so the best way to leverage my identity is to become a greater listener and ask really good questions. Second, I wanted to be someone who doesn't need to say much, but when I speak, I do make sure that it counts. That means I communicate concisely and effectively. Instead of talking 5 to 10 minutes to make a point, I'm done under 30 seconds. To fully live in this identity, I began to focus on preparation for meetings. I would invest significant amount of my effort doing the homework. For example, do my pre-readings before the meeting, connecting with various stakeholders. The way I approach meetings start to be different. I want to understand not only my job responsibility, but also broader business context. Having collected so many perspectives and did all the homework before the meeting, during my prep meeting with different stakeholders, I no longer stayed at the situational level of discussions. I would go to the root cause of the topic. I would go to the meeting as the person who makes sure that every point I made was precise and have a meaningful impact. When I do ask a question, it is directly point at the blind spot. It's challenging the team and it's providing them with broader perspectives. Soon after trying this new identity, I became an essential part of the management team. People come to me for advices because we reach better conclusions as my input facilitated a more diversified and insightful decision-making process. With that perception, I was recognized not just as someone with a functional expertise, communication, as you know, but as a business leader. This shift has elevated both my topics and my name to the top 3 on the management team meeting agenda, but also board meetings. I remember there was a point of time whenever there's an NDA project, a strategic negotiation, or an organizational change, I was invited to join alongside with 1 or 2 management team members to the initial planning meeting with the presidents and to share something tangible as the result of this change. Of course, this translated into the promotion to the top, my team size, project budget, my income, even my team's development and their salary increase. Probably by now you're very tired of my story. I'm not trying to be so full of myself. I just wanted to share with you all my mistakes and my successes so you can accelerate your success. To quote from Jim Rohn, it is important to learn from your mistakes, but it's better to learn from other people's mistakes. And it is best to learn from other people's successes. It accelerates your own success. If you're tired of trying and failing at your own cost of time, income, and impact, submit your application to the 1% Academy. In this program, you'll be mentored by myself, someone who has already made most of the mistakes during my years in the middle management. You will get a structured process of how I reached the vice president positions in 2 largest Swedish companies by market cap. You can go to inspiremyday.org/apply or click the link in the description below to book a free strategy call with myself or my team. I can probably tell you what not to do, but also to make sure that you learn from my successes. For now, you might want to watch this video to find out why you are stuck at middle management. I'll see you there.